Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. Today I have a book for you that has so many cool things wrapped up in it you're going to think I'm making this up, and I am not making this up. I wouldn't do that to you. Are you ready for a love story involving a female cyborg? How about a war story? I've got a book for you that has love blooming in the heat of battle. It's got Taliban. It's got cutting-edge science, cheeky humor. It even has Nazis and meteorites. I was hoping that would get your interest. It certainly got mine. Captain Jane Hunter is a sexy female cyborg with a great sense of humor who falls in love with a human in Janus Blacks' new book, Enter the Huntress. Here's the thing. She wasn't always a cyborg, but I'm getting way ahead of myself, so hold on a second here. Here's an excerpt. Moonlight cast an eerie glow over the rocky landscape as 5 shadows slunk towards a remote cave in the Hindu Kush Mountains. A group of Taliban commanders was gathering around a carefully shielded fire, their accompanying warriors keeping a respectful distance. However, it was evident that they were not expecting any interruptions as they sat smoking and chatting quietly with their Kalashnikov AK-47 assault rifles resting across their knees. Captain Jane Hunter inched her wiry body forward on her belly toward the Taliban hideout. She tucked a stray black hair back under her helmet and rubbed her button nose on the palm of her hand. Although she could not be classified as beautiful, her dark brown eyes and boyish features had attracted admiring looks from many a young male. Jane grinned, exposing even white teeth, as she remembered playing cowboys and Indians with her 3 older brothers when she was a child. Always the tomboy, she had insisted on scalping them all before tea. Consequently, her boyish nature had led her into girls' football and martial arts. She had achieved second dan in jiu-jitsu, and later had proved a formidable exponent of unarmed combat when she joined the Army. Academically, she'd proven herself to be quite brilliant, but the academic life was not for her. So she joined the Royal Army Signals Corps, passing through Sandhurst at 26 before joining the Intelligence Corps as a young officer to use her knowledge in a more adventurous life. However, the little-known Special Reconnaissance Regiment soon spotted Jane as a potential recruit because of her unique abilities. She had eagerly accepted their invitation to apply, especially when she had learned that this was a regiment in the British Army whose women often worked alongside the Special Forces. Okay, that's enough for now. It's not story time, come on. When I first saw this book and read the description, I was immediately hooked. I had visions of the Bionic Woman dancing in my head. I've probably just dated myself with that reference, but do you remember Lindsey Wagner, the Bionic Woman? This gorgeous tennis pro who goes skydiving and in a strange twist of fate winds up as the world's first Bionic Woman. Ran for a few years in the 70s, but that's not important right now. What we have here is a modern-day love story involving Captain Jane Hunter. Always one to take risks, Captain Jane volunteers for an experimental program that turns her into a super fighting machine. It's pretty cool, right? You might even be thinking about RoboCop, the female RoboCop. Anyway, it's pretty awesome. She's badly injured in combat, which leads her to this decision, and it's one that ultimately launches her into a relationship with a handsome young lieutenant. Now, I don't want to give too much away because I really think you're going to enjoy reading this one, so let me just steal a quote from the book. While doing some very aggressive driving in an ATV, her human passenger, the handsome lieutenant, starts to look a little peaked around the edges. So she says, "Sorry, Lieutenant, but ever since Emmeline Pankhurst chained herself to the railings, women have had to prove themselves the superior race. Sit back and relax, but do be a good boy and try not to get sick." She's kind of a badass, right? They were sent on a mission into the jungles of Colombia to search for 2 hostages and a mysterious meteorite that is not quite what it seems. As you might suspect, a close bond develops between these two, but is it an impossible relationship? Can love that blossoms in the heat of battle lead to anything but an impossible relationship, especially when it's between a cyborg and a soldier? I don't know. I guess you're going to have to read the book. It's worth a read to find out what happens. There are a number of missions, there are a lot of fun things that go on in this book, and it's a work of fiction, so I really don't want to give too much of it away. I would just say, look it up and read the synopsis for yourself and then you decide. I think you're going to like it. It's called Enter the Huntress by Janus Blacks. That's spelled Janus. So much good stuff to enjoy, and it's available now at Amazon.com or AuthorHouse.com, and I'll put a link to it in the show notes. You can even download a digital copy for just under $5. So you're going to love it. And that's it for this edition of Newsgram.